begging her, I'm going to leave you.
You open that mouth again, I'll kill you!
You are killing me! You are killing me! You are killing me!
Her show-stopping performance in Pollock earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, a moment Marcia Gay Harden was proud to share with her mother, Beverly. Harden gives us an amazing look inside their very special bond with her battle with Alzheimer's in the new book, The Seasons of My Mother, a memoir of love, family, and flowers. Good morning and welcome, Marcia Gay Harden. I feel like I really know you after reading this book. I just got it. My grandfather had Alzheimer's disease, and this is not only that, it's very much a tribute between the love between a mother and a daughter. Peppered throughout is, of course, the fact that your mother currently has Alzheimer's. Right. So why was this something that you wanted to put down pen to paper?
Because memory is our best companion, and a person with Alzheimer's has lost their companion, and they've lost their validation. They can't tell themselves, yes, I did this in my life. Yes, I was this person. Yes, I have these accomplishments. And it would come through storytelling. I would say, Mom, you did this. Mom, you went with me to the Oscars. Mom, we had this crazy, I just told her last night. I said, Mom, we had this crazy ride on this slide in Toronto at your, the park.
The exhibition place?
Yes, yes. Yeah. We had this crazy ride where we were laughing so hard, we were crying, we were so scared, and you know, it was just like I tell her who she was, and so I thought, you know, I need to write it down. I need to tell her who she was. I need to tell the world who she was. I need to tell my kids who she was in storytelling.
I was going to say, this was also something in a legacy and an heirloom, sort of for your kids to understand that intimate relationship, as well as, let's talk a bit about your mom's strength and her love of all things Ikebana. You traveled a lot growing up because your dad was a Navy officer. So when you went to Japan, you saw her blossom.
She blossomed, and she blossomed through the art of Ikebana, which is Japanese flower arranging, and its principles are so beautiful. It's based on the principles of Shin Soi Hikai, which is heaven, earth, and man.
I learned that thanks to
Yes, you learned it. So many people are taking up Ikebana, I think, because of the book, which is great. And so Mom appreciated nature. She appreciated beauty, and she always brought that into the home through her flower arranging. And it's been a through line in her life. And so for me, it was a through line in the book to talk about the flowers woven throughout our lives.
And that was with 5 kids in tow. Unthinkable.
With no computer, no cell phone.
It's true.
5 kids traveling all over the world. I don't know how she did it. I have no idea.
And then, of course, you found your love for theater and the stage, and she was the one to encourage you to try out for what was a play, not a musical. You thought it was a musical, and you weren't very confident in your singing. You talk about why in the book.
Yes.
But she was the one that urged you.
She urged me in everything. My mother is my best friend, and she was my biggest supporter. And I say, my mom advocated for me my entire life. Now it's time for me to advocate for her. I just wish that it was for something different than Alzheimer's and women's brain health. I mean, that's what is so important. That's what we're here to talk about, is how women are incrementally more getting Alzheimer's disease. And part of my legacy, which is the book, is also to ask my kids and ask the younger generation to really pay attention to what we can do to avoid and to prevent the disease.
The stats are staggering.
They're staggering.
By the time people reach the age of 80, you have a 50% chance, I read, of developing Alzheimer's, and more women.
And it's doubling. Women are 70% more affected by Alzheimer's than men.
And people hear, you know, crossword puzzles, listen to music. Your mom knew many languages. She was very artistic, and super intelligent, and yet still, here it is, debilitating.
My mother was the poster child for what to do to not get Alzheimer's. But I have to say, one of the things we don't think about very much is sleep. And I think who sleeps less in the world? It's got to be women.
True.
Because once you've had a baby, do you have children?
I don't. Didn't work out for us. Another story.
Okay, that's another time, another story.
We tried, yeah, exactly.
But once you have children, I don't think you ever get a good night's sleep again.
Yeah.
So I think you need sleep. I mean, they talk about sugar now. These are possible things that are preventative. And all we can do is continue to research and hope that we find the solution.
And you're an amazing advocate for that. Also, you have to read the epilogue, because you do go into the methodology as to asking your mom about the book when she would have more lucid moments or not, and what she would want said. And she said, love. It's all about having positive thoughts.
You be in the moment now, and the better the thoughts, the better the thinking. My mother says, this is what she says. She says, love.
Yeah.
It happens to everybody. The better the thoughts, the better the thinking, which is her way of saying, fill your head with good, loving thoughts and be in the moment now, and you will, that's good. It's good for the brain.
An indestructible spirit, just as you are.
Love
Thank
is
you
good
so
for the
much,
brain.
Marsha. It is so good for the brain. It's so good for the world. And so is this book. Please pick it up. You must. It's The Seasons of My Mother. It's out now. You can find a link to purchase the book, breakfasttelevision.ca. Thank you so much, Marsha.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more BT right after this. Would you mind saying this, Marsha?